Mark Harris.
Frederick, how are you?
I'm good. My mic is not working. Hold on. There we go.
Christopher Berry's here.
Chris Berry is here. Look, finally. Finally, we get Chris Berry. Chris, can you hear us? Chris can't hear us. All right, we'll see who shows up for this one. Thanks for coming, Mark.
Oh, you're welcome. It's 9 o'clock here.
Where are you? In New York?
In New Jersey.
New Jersey. You know what? I'll be in New Jersey next week.
Where are you going to be?
I will be. That's a good question. I will be in Fairfield.
Okay. Oh, at Unique Photo?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm doing a talk over there. You should come.
Which day?
The talk is on Saturday. So I'm flying in Friday, do the talk Saturday, fly back Sunday.
Okay. I'll have to see what else is going on. I'm never quite sure these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, come on out. Come hang out.
People here.
Have you been up to that? Have you ever been to that store before?
I haven't. We lived in New Jersey for a couple of years when I was growing up in Willingsboro, New Jersey. And I haven't been back to New Jersey since then. Not because I've been avoiding it. Just
right.
We moved. So.
There you go.
So no, I haven't been back there.
All right.
You know, I moved this meeting. Oh, there's Peter over there. Yes. You cannot get rid of the wombat. I moved the meeting time and everything to try to avoid Troy Miller, and he still shows up, man. What is it?
No wedding tomorrow, Troy?
No.
I like the way you color coordinated your shirt in that door, man. That's hip. I like that.
It's TWiP colors today, little TWiP color.
Kinda, yeah, kinda. That'll work. Chris Berry's in here, but I think what's that?
Did you call me the wombat?
No, Peter's the wombat.
Oh, he's the grumpy grandpa.
The grumpy grandpa wombat. If I could say it with his accent, the wombat. The wombat.
Yeah, we're working on pack. He's sitting over there at the other end of the table. We're in the kitchen. He's sitting at the other end of the table working on print pricing. Oh, God, it's a nightmare.
Why? Just add a zero. Done.
Yeah, because we have metal prints, we have acrylic prints, we have artist proofs, we have open edition, and we have limited edition. And we have to figure out pricing for all.
Oh. Hey, look who's here. It's the horse whisperer.
The dog whisperer.
The dog whisperer. Yeah, I don't know. I said horse because I saw the horse behind you. The canine whisperer.
Troy. How's it going, brother?
Going good. It's going good. I'm in LA working on pack today, so
good.
Yeah, because Peter's going to be at Festival of the Arts. So we're going to be hanging up some of his big prints, and we got to figure out what all the pricing is, the artist proof pricing. And, we're fine art newbies. So we're learning a lot about, how all the pricing structure works and how you scale things. And
am I still coming to that, Troy? That's the one I'm coming to, right?
Yeah. Peter's got to talk to you about it and figure out.
When is that? What's the date of it?
Of July.
July 3rd. Is that the launch? Is that the open house?
That's the big launch party. Thursday night.
Thursday night, July 3rd? Yeah. Let me look, because that's I guess almost next month, right?
Are you guys talking about F64 Live?
No. So we have in Laguna Beach, it's called Festival of the Arts. It's a big art show, and it's very, very niche-y and bougie, and only certain artists are allowed to get in there. And Peter, to his credit, first time ever getting in there, he got accepted, which is a big deal because there's 2,700 applicants or something, and only 20 artists get picked. So he got chosen. So he gets to hang his art in there, and therefore, how long is it? 3 months or 2 months? Yeah, it runs through 2 months. So that's what we're talking about. So Peter wanted to have Frederick come out and, create some media stuff and hang out and just be cool. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome to come out and hang out in Laguna Beach.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I said they can come hang out in Laguna Beach. They can't go to the open house, but
It's a free city, right?
yeah. There's not very many snooty places like Laguna Beach. So
Manhattan Beach. Anything with beach on the end of it in California is snooty, pretty much. Right?
yeah, except like San Pedro Beach.
Oh, I never even heard of that.
I think I just made that up, but
well, there's Miller's Beach. It's always polluted, right? So, Chris Berry, can you hear us? Are you in here? Oh, you can't hear us. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I plug in? Is it going to be good?
Yeah, go plug in. Go.
Is he logging in?
Yeah, he's gonna go log in.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna walk out all.
I'm recording this review. I've been trying to record it for 3 days now, and I haven't gotten around to it. But I'm going to try to do it this weekend. Here's that Peak Design tripod that everyone was talking about. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah. I actually do like it. This is why I like it, because it's got this is a Lumix G9 camera on it, so just for size, micro four thirds. But look how sturdy that is. That's like. I call this combination what's Thor's hammer's name? Josh, you should know this. What's
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, thank you. See, I know who to go to. You don't have to know everything. You just got to know where to get it.
He's just waiting for us to butcher it, is what he was.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, here it comes Mew Mew. No, Mjolnir, right there. But look at that. This thing feels so, like, when it's collapsed, it feels so sturdy. So so I'll do my review on it.
You'll have to show that when Peter comes back on, because he ordered one, so he's very excited.
I thought he ordered two. Didn't he order two?
He may have ordered two.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was going to send me one of them.
Oh,
right.
Nice.
No, he's not doing that. I wish.
Yeah. Hey, Troy, speaking of stuff, has Peter been shooting with his Osmo Pocket, and have you been shooting with yours?
I have been shooting with mine. I did some like hyperlapse, some time-lapse stuff, some moving while I was manufacturing grinding some things in the garage. And Peter has a gazillion hours of footage from his trip. When he gets on, he can actually screen share and show you some if you want to see it. Yeah. He's riding in this little beater Toyota down this dirt road, and the video is like perfectly still.
I want to see that. Yeah, tell him to get on. What is he waiting on?
Well, here, let's go find him. We're gonna go.
You're like the crocodile hunter, the Peter hunter.
Well, look, I'll give you an office tour. So, like, there were some prints on the wall from one of our artists. Alexa, stop. Look, let's go see Kira's cubicle.
Is she in it?
Look. Oh yeah, she's got like this amazingly beautiful cubicle. It's like all organized and
exactly. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And then we'll go back here. Oh, there's Peter.
Get out of my office, you bastard! What are you doing?
There you are.
Look, that's Karen Nakamura, and that's the amazing Troy Miller right there. And that.
Nice. So, what's the average price of those prints on the wall, Peter?
$3,000.
Seriously?
Yeah, and we've been selling them a lot for $3,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the front. There's over there. That's a 60-inch print of one of Peter's.
Get close to it so we can get an idea of scale.
Don't make him
put your head in the scene so we can get an idea of scale. There you go.
That's an authentic Peter Levisham.
See.
Oh, see? There, now we see how big it is.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, that is big. Is that a metal print?
It's acrylic.
Acrylic. Okay.
Yeah. So here's one of the acrylic ones on the ground, here. So you can kind of see the edge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's all acrylic. They're freaking gorgeous, and you have to light them, but they're just absolutely stunning.
What's the process for making those? Do they print them and then cover them like with a spray acrylic, or is there like a hard
No.
acrylic surface that gets mounted and then like flush sanded, Peter?
Okay, what happens is they do it on Fujiflex 3. They print the image first, okay, and then make sure that there's no bubbles on it, whatever. And then they mount it onto the bottom layer of acrylic. And then they have to make sure there's no bubbles on that. And then they have to lay another 1/4 inch acrylic on the top of that. And it's really complicated. It's extremely difficult. You've got to do it slowly. And
Sounds expensive. Which
Oh,
is
it
like
is.
$3,000, right?
yeah, it's real expensive. They cost us probably $2,000 to make.
Oh wow, wow.
But-
how do
but-
those compare to these like just straight up metal prints that you get from Miller's or White House or Bay Photo?
Well, a Miller size of that is about $300-400
Oh wow.
for doing metal. But again, the acrylics that we're using, and Troy and I both agreed, is it's museum quality. So there's no little specks of black impurities in there, and it's what you see at the Mocha, the Getty, and super high end. So it's the very, very best.
Yeah.
Very best. But I'm having
Your shots. Some of those shots in there are from your camera, which is you're shooting the Sony, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
A7R,
So full frame.
3, 2, 1. But the biggest problem I have is with my curator. He does all the imaging processing, and we're just now discovering that he's had made quite a few mistakes on one picture. But anyway, you get what you pay
He
for.
was colorblind in one eye, right?
You get what you pay for. What can I say, right?
Half price. Oh man. Let's go. Well, Peter. Troy was saying that you got quite a bit of footage with your Osmo Pro or your Osmo Pocket.
Yeah.
Can you show it?
If I knew how to, I would. I've got 200 gigs. 200 gigs. 200 gigs. Hey, there's Troy. Okay. 200 gigs. How do you do it, Troy?
Show him the videos.
Well, how do you do it?
Oh my God.
Like I said, you don't have to know how to do things. You just need to know where to have somebody do it for you.
That's there. That one. Which one are you gonna play? This one here.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
I want the one that's going.
There you go.
This is
There
good.
you go.
Great.
Well, was who someone famous, Abraham Lincoln or George Washington or someone said that you don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You just have to know where to find the information, and know how to find the information. So I live by that. Google.
Share.
Joshua, are you still at work?
So now you can play.
Yes,
You are?
I've been working 16-hour shifts the last 2 days. I've been here since 5 o'clock your time, and I'll get up. I get off in 3 hours.
Dude, we can always tell when you're at work because we see just the disembodied head.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually in the courtroom.
Oh, nice.
Hey,
People's Court.
Can you see the
Usually
video?
it is for an empty holding cell.
Yeah, we need a tour of the holding cell.
Okay, sorry. Can you see the video of the girls?
Yeah, well, I see it. It's going in like 2 frames a second or something.
Oh, really? It's all jittery.
Yeah, it's jittery.
Oh, okay, so it's not going to stream, and I have to go to stop.
Yeah, I can see it. It just it's like literally 2 to 3 frames a second.
That's stop. Sorry.
Nah, maybe it's your Osmo. You might need to get it fixed.
You think so?
No.
Hey, I just bought all those stupid accessories for it, but one other thing that noticed that the little Wi-Fi accessory that you put underneath.
Yeah.
I was trying to do time lapse down at the beach, whatever, and the problem is it won't charge the battery in the Osmo, even though the little Wi-Fi thing's plugged into the PowerPoint.
Yes, it does.
No,
Seriously?
Yes, it
It
does.
should.
the little green light on the Osmo should turn on when
Right.
it's charging. It wouldn't do it. It wouldn't do it. I don't know why.
When you're recording. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. I don't even have one of those yet. I need to order one.
It's really good. The what do you call it, Troy? The
The time lapse.
time lapse is great because you get the camera to move as well as do the time lapse as it goes, and it's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
But
I
if you
love
do it
that.
if you do it for 3-4 hours, the battery just dies, and I need Troy to help me with that.
Maybe that's a firmware update, because I could have swore I read somewhere that thing should be powered when you plug it in.
I would have thought so.
You haven't updated your firmware, Peter.
Yes, I have. I'm using 3.0 now. Yeah, firmware. You did it for me 2 weeks ago, Mr. Curator.
That's right, I did. See how much abuse I get?
Hey, so Frederick, why are we doing this on Friday night at 6 o'clock? I mean,
Because this is a test to see. This is a test to see who has a life and who doesn't. So perfect.
I thought it was a test to see who's committed.
What's the difference?
It's who should be committed.
Thank you. Who should be? Yeah, it's that guy up there. There's Steve Van Sickle. Look at that. Where is it? Yeah. So I was going to ask you guys, I was looking at my notes. So Kickstarter campaign. So who is it? Stephen Sharp started this dialogue on TWiP PRO about Kickstarters and how they work and all that. Who here has participated in a Kickstarter? Almost everyone. So who has gotten their Kickstarter gear that they paid for? Okay, a couple. So was it like
except for the Narbox 2?
The Narbox, right? So that's the only one. What have you gotten, Steve, that you paid for? And are you happy with it?
Peak Design bags. I've kickstarted a number of those and been pretty happy with those.
Mm-hmm.
Although, strangely enough, I'm now using a Low Pro. But I mean, Peak Designs, they worked for what I needed for a long time.
Yeah. Huh. Peak Design. I was trying to say that. I was trying to tell Stephen that, but the Peak Design's model isn't necessarily they're raising money to launch their products. Their products are done and tooled and ready to go. They use Kickstarter just as a launch mechanism. So they're just like, hey, we just made $5 million on this launch. The business is done. No marketing for the entire 2 years. Done. Right? They'll bulk load all their marketing at the beginning, and then they don't have to do any marketing for the rest of the year. Yeah. Or
I'm looking forward to that new tripod of theirs.
Yeah, this is it right here. Look at that.
Hey, is it any good?
I love this tripod. I'm doing a review. I'll publish it probably early next week. But so far, yes, it is very good. I love it.
It doesn't look very stable. And is that the graphite? That's the carbon fiber one.
That's the carbon fiber, yeah.
Okay. Can you send it down to me to do a testing on it, and I'll send it back?
No.
Yeah, I was told you wouldn't do that. You cheap bastard. Unbelievable. Come on.
I am.
The weight difference between the aluminum and the carbon fiber almost isn't worth it. It's not even a pound.
Is it like $100 or $200 different?
It's a $200 difference. So
yeah, I think it's more. If I was buying it, I would buy the aluminum because I would want it black anyway.
Except for Peter. Well, Peter, you want it for travel, so you need it to be lighter.
Yeah. It is very light.
Matters.
Hey, I just bought 2 of them.
Yeah, I heard.
One for me and one for Peter.
Yeah. No.
Honestly, they gave me this one. This is a press unit, which I allegedly have to return. But the if I buy one, it'll be that aluminum one, and I think I want a second one. I think you need 2.
Yeah. I mean, how much do you really like it? I mean, do you really, really like it, or?
Yeah. Well, I really, really like it, but if I didn't get this one for free, to review, I look at that price and be like, you know what? I got a Me Photo, man. I'm good.
I understand that, a pound for like the $200 difference might not seem like a lot, but just sizing down from like a 5-pound tripod to a 3 feels like a world of difference when you've been hiking for like 4 hours.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
that pound over a mile, it adds up. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but carbon fiber, I'm not doing that. If you're doing that a lot and weight is critical, like you're the bicyclist and you got to get carbon fiber water bottles because that saves you 3 ounces. And, I understand that, but I don't like the weight difference isn't that big a deal for me. Yeah.
I got a question for you, Frederick.
Yeah.
What do you think about putting like an Edelkrone or like a little slider on there and then having a video rig slide to one side or the other? Like, how rigid is that tripod?
Head, I wouldn't do that, to be honest with you. I don't think it's designed for that. So let me release it. So if you where's the guy right there? So see that little pole? It's extremely rigid, but it's still physics, right? If you're gonna put put a bar on there, the weight is gonna, if you're gonna do that, get 2 of them and just stretch it across.
Got you. That was gonna be my next question, because if I get one of those for what I think I want to use it for both, for a little video and this and that, that doesn't look like it would be the lick for me. And I have like.
Remember that head, it's not designed to do smooth panning and all that stuff. It's designed for you to put it and lock it, and be done with it.
Yeah. It's not for me, but it's dope. It looks pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the one thing that I'm curious to try on it is geez.
Let it go. Let it go.
So, I was just watching a video from Kai, and he was actually gave a really honest review, about the exact same tripod, and he was saying that the center column, it's rigid, but it's still physics, when it's extended. What I wonder about though is when the center column, when the plate is fully collapsed down into the ridges of those poles, would that base, if it's tall enough, then be stable enough to support an Edelkrone?
Absolutely.
Or because what I've got is
down like this. When it's completely closed down, let me focus on this thing. All right, so when it's completely closed down like this, it feels like the camera is part of the whole unit. It is It's that sturdy. It doesn't feel like it feels like I could beat somebody over the head with this. And
so that's a different story. That sounds attractive.
So it's a matter of height at that point.
Yep. Because I had the tripod that I have
anywhere. Look at that.
Don't do it.
That's not going anywhere. I could throw this in the back seat. Like throwing it in the back seat with the Me Photo, I would lay it down because this one, I feel like it's a tool and I can throw it around and nothing's going to happen. It's that head gives you that much confidence. So that part I am happy with. Like I think I heard a rumor that they're going to release a version, I don't know how soon, probably in a year or so, maybe 18 months, a version of the head that's for people that do video and content creators. So, yeah.
So,
but it'll be a head. It'll be a replaceable head that you can stick on these legs.
Yeah. So the quick release plate is the little peak one, right? The little tiny one?
Yeah, this little guy right here. It comes with that one.
Oh, it comes with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then to put it back on, you just...
And you use an Allen key. You use a special Allen key to tighten it up, right?
Yeah, it's that one. They sell versions of this plate that have a D-ring on them that you can do by hand.
Yeah, it's not strong enough.
They're little. This one, it comes with the Allen wrench that goes. And I actually have their Peak design. I don't know where it came from, but maybe one of their bags or something. But I have a little Allen key that's from them. That's like plastic and all that, and I just keep that in my bag, kind of attached with one of those little hook things in the bag, and it's just
like a mini carabiner, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, I have one somewhere around here.
So, if you need to buy more of those, how much are they, Frederick? Those little
plates?
Yeah,
I got a bag full of them. I'll send you some if you need some.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I literally have a bag full of those and the little Peak design connectors, the little yellow thing or red thing. Yeah. So if you need some, just let me know.
All the ones that they recalled?
No, I have the updated ones because they sent new ones to replace the old ones.
Yeah, no, they did.
And there's a prototype one. Did you see the prototype one that had it was magnetic? So it had a little rare earth magnet in it, so you could throw it and stick it to stuff.
Nice. I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I told him I don't know if I like magnets around my electronics. So.
So when is this tripod coming out? Do you know?
Look on the Kickstarter page. I think it's relatively soon, like 2 months or something like that. So they're just enough time for them to probably gather $10 million. And where are they at now? Let me see.
They are at 5.6 mil.
5.6?
Yep.
No way. $5.6 million?
Yeah, and
shit.
Estimated December.
Oh, yeah. Well, just in time for Christmas.
So that's got to be, about 30,000 units then? No, more. Wow, 5.6 million.
Look at that.
12,713 backers.
Wow.
And they still have 47 days to go.
47. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 10 million is not out of the question, right?
Wow. Shit.
Isn't that crazy? That's what I'm talking about, Peter. This is that business model. They've already built the thing. It's finished. I have it.
It's
done. And they're just using Kickstarter to sell it. What business on the planet doesn't want to make $5 million in what? 3 days, 4 days?
So they pay Kickstarter 15%.
Yep.
And then when it funds, Kickstarter gives them all the money.
Yeah, they just literally direct deposit the money into their account, and they fulfill the orders. Done.
Man, oh man. So
and at least fortunately with Peak Design, whereas Kickstarter always says, be warned, this is not a store for prepaying. You know, Peak Design's kind of got the reputation where, no, they're pretty reliable, that their products are basically ready to go once they do it. So this is their like you said, this is their marketing. This is their pre-order. And you can be reasonably confident that unless there's like some giant customs dispute, you're probably going to get it pretty close to on time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And they're, you know, a company like Peak Design that's literally making, let's call it 10 million on this product, they're not going to screw up the delivery and jeopardize your trust on their next campaign, which will be, you know, the new revolutionary lens cap or something. Right?
Yeah.
Or like I said, even if there was like a customs issue or something like that, they're not going to ghost us all for 2 months while they say update when the last time they said was update at the end of the week. And, you know, 2 quarters later, we're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Narbox, on the other hand.
Yeah, what's up with him? You know, by the way, the Narbox guy is in TWiP PRO. He's the chief marketing officer. Let me give you his name so you can message him directly if you want.
Is it Will?
No, hold on. Let's see.
Will? Oh, okay.
I don't know. Wait, I'm gonna look it up in the email real quick. Let's see. What is it? Narbox.
His address, where his kids live.
His name is
Lucky him.
Wrong email account.
So Frederick, just while you're doing that, so the Kickstarter campaign, they're not selling it to a distributor, a wholesaler, and all of that marketing in between. So 15%, and they sell all of those directly to the public.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Isn't it brilliant? Yeah. Will Africano. It's Will Africano is his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So message him on TWiP. He's in there.
So Frederick, you look out of focus.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Yeah, because you had focused on your tripod.
There you go. How's that? Yeah, so
That's better. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to get one of those things. Who got one? Oh, Tim. Tim went to what was it, Palm Springs Photo Festival, and met with Will and the Narbox team, and they weren't ready then because they were going to give Tim one, Tim Engel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the deal, Steve? What are they saying? What's the delay?
I mean, this is where I do try to, understand it from their perspective, because I've backed a number of things on Kickstarters, from like the Ouya mini game console to, Peak Design and stuff in between. So I understand that sometimes, that there are distribution issues, but the biggest thing we've seen with Narbox is they just kind of are almost pulling an Ouya of just saying, almost there, just a couple more challenges, and they're being really super vague. Now, maybe they have to settle some issue with a supplier or something, I don't know, but whenever we do get the details, it's still like each day they say 2 more days.
Yeah. So what is it? What exactly is it?
Oh yeah, what is it, Steve?
It's basically an external SSD hard drive that has an SD reader in it. So it's kind of like the Western Digital WD My Passport Wireless.
Yeah,
it's sort of like that, but it actually has like a I believe it has like that little LED screen on it that can tell you status of backups, and it also has the Wi-Fi built in so that you could be able to I remember at some point they had mentioned something like being able to like have an app on your phone to basically like select your keepers for photos, and it'll work with, I forget the name of the video editor. It's a Mac only one, but
the iOS one.
LumaFusion on iPad though.
Yeah, LumaFusion, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's the hard drive size in that? Is it 2 terabytes?
There was a number. Basically, like the backer levels were pretty much the level of hard drive.
Okay. Yeah, up to 1 terabyte.
For an SSD, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
How much was it?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Let's see. Pre-order now.
$500, $400.
Let's see.
Well,
Let's
this
look at
thing
the
was supposed to ship in December of last year, so bear that in mind.
I think they're getting beat to the punch with a lot of other products, like you said, the Western Digital product.
Wow,
look
at that.
Hammered.
$900. Wow, that's too
Yeah,
much.
I think they're getting hammered. I think there's so many other solutions for carrying around media. That's
$900 is not. Yeah, that $900 is not worth it. I mean, for me, to shoot wirelessly and all that. I don't know. This is me not having tried the product. I think I'd like to try it to see if $900 is worth it. But again, much like the tripod, when I see $900, I think, man, I go to Best Buy and get me a 1 terabyte drive and put up with the non-wireless nature.
Well,
but I remember when this started, that size for an external SSD hard drive was actually about par for the course.
Right.
So if this thing could automatically download your SD card while you're in the field, and let you know when it's done, that part seemed like, okay, so I'm actually getting some extras onto it by the time it's been delayed yet again with no word on what actually is happening. Now, for $900, I could get a 4 terabyte SSD, no SD card reader on it, but it could store my entire photography library.
Yeah.
Well, Frederick, this is one I took on my last trip. It's a 2 terabyte SSD, and it's
those
350.
I have that.
The write speed, 600 megabytes. The thing is so quick for movies, anything. Yep. It doesn't have a little thing on it to see what you've got in there. And
that thing's brilliant. That's USB-C, right?
Yeah. This thing is magnificent. But I remember what you're talking about. There was a thing called way back when. I think Troy saw it. Yeah, brilliant. It was like called iOmega or something. It was a little device that you could put your CF cards in and download it, and it was like half a terabyte and all the rest of it, and a little picture window in it. But that was 10, 12 years ago. That's probably dead.
And Western Digital had like a version of this, but it was battery operated. It did have Wi-Fi. It did not have SSD on it. And to be honest, when I was shooting with a Nikon D7000, the download speed on those things were atrocious. Yeah. I could probably come back from the vacation before it finished downloading.
And be on the next one.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't know. I mean, we got to get Will on the show to talk through this stuff, or maybe we'll get him in one of these. But I wonder, because until I saw that product, I wasn't sure that I had that issue to solve. So I wonder if that product is a cure in search of a disease, right? So, or is it just like a niche market for the Peter McKinnons of the world, right? That are running around globetrotting and they are editing in cafes and doing all that stuff. Most of us, aside from Peter, aren't doing that, right? So,
I was planning on doing it for event shooting.
Yeah, I plugged this in as a backup, okay, to what's on my laptop, and so I've got multiple places where it is. This thing is so light, so fast. 300. I mean, Steve, this is $340 or something through B&H. Fantastic.
They've gotten cheaper since they've released them. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that you're sending me, Troy Miller? What's this thing?
It's basically just a backup. Like, it's very similar. You plug a card in it allows you to back it up. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of them out there like that. I used to use these all the time when I shot with like the D2 and the D2X, because I only had one card in the cameras, so I'd go shoot, I'd swap the cards, plug it into one of these, back it up to an internal hard drive, and continue working.
So what does Narbox give you that this doesn't, besides being rugged and waterproof and all that?
Wi-Fi, SSD, and a couple of apps.
Yeah, I mean,
so for double the price, roughly.
And I had these things run off a very low power. They have an internal laptop battery, and what I did is it was like a 9 volt. It used like 9 volts. So I bought a lithium ion RC car battery that had like 2,500 milliamps, and I just converted that to like 9 volt. So I could run that thing for 3 days, and it would never run out of power. Yeah, it was great. I had it in the side pocket of my bag. I'd walk over, pop a card, hit copy, walk away. I'd come back, it'd be done. But there's a whole bunch like that. You can find a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you need a backup,
but this is not. Is that SSD? That doesn't look SSD. Is it SSD? No, it's not SSD. It looks fat. It looks fat. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, if you got one,
it does look fat, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
But if you want an on-site backup of your card, if it's critical that you do that, this is this is a way to do it. So then you take this into the restaurant, or you take your cards in, you leave that in the car, like whatever, or you give it to 2 different people, so your data is always secure.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a bad way to go. And there's tons of them out there.
Yeah. The draw for me for the NAR box was being able to use it as my editing drive in the field as well.
That would be badass. Yeah. Sitting in my bag and have 4 terabytes or 2 terabytes.
That would be killer.
Or Wi-Fi, from your laptop if you don't have if you're not already connected to a hotspot. Yeah.
If they ship it, it's got to ship. It's got to ship. I'm gonna get Will on. Will, if you're watching this, you got to come on the show.
Okay, so what happens if it doesn't ship? What happens then? What happens to your money? It's gone.
Oh, I don't know. Is it non-refundable?
There's supposedly some clause in Kickstarter where it's not exactly like a money-back guarantee, but there's some sort of clause of if they never actually ship anything.
Yeah.
So, like, the protections are far less if they ship something that was less than what you'd hoped for. But if they never ship anything, I think there is some form of recourse.
Yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
So, I mean, you paid $900. So if you never get it, will you be under restriction from the wife?
I'm looking at their terms and conditions now. It says, we shall not be liable to you or any third party for any modification, price change, suspension, or discontinuance of the service. What service? We're talking about Kickstarter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Optional tools, third party. I don't know. I have to read through it. That's a mountain of legalese they have in here.
Yeah, that mountain of words could just be replaced with a picture of a middle finger.
Yeah, exactly. Or a 404.
Error not found.
What a great joke, right? Like,
yeah. That's what I would do.
Steve, you look really depressed. Don't look depressed, all right? Please. You look very
depressed. I'm good.
Okay, good.
It's my birthday. I feel good today.
Hey,
it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
The tweet that I posted for the photo critique, that was like a little pre-birthday vacation because my birthday is always around, if not on Memorial Day. So I figure I've already got the one holiday off. I've got a 9 to 5, so just take another day off and go make a small weekend trip.
Yeah. How old are you? Are you old enough to drink now? 37? Oh, you can drink. Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas, I saw you sneaking that Jack Daniels over there.
That's not Jack Daniels, my friend.
Oh, Makers. There you go.
They're owned by
Makers, my kryptonite.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
So that's why you have this at 6 o'clock at night, because everyone's drinking.
Yeah, I know.
Wait till 6. It's 11 a.m. somewhere.
Exactly. Well, it's 6 is 1 a.m. where Wayne Johns was. You see him complaining? And he still didn't show up. He's like, it's all right, mate. I'll be in there. And it didn't show up. But hey, yeah. Hey, but you never, the globe is round, allegedly, unless you're a flat earther. So, we'd never.
You haven't heard about concave Earth?
Oh, is it concave Earth now? We have the concave Earth?
No, that's not the current trend. My friends host a pseudoscience podcast where they just delve into the most batshit insane conspiracy theories. Just for fun. Just for laughs.
What's the worst, Steve, what's the weirdest conspiracy theory besides the Earth is flat? No offense, Joshua, but besides
apparently there's some sort of belief of pancreas denial that it's actually some sort of tracking mechanism implanted into us by world governments.
They put it in there when they do the circumcision.
Weird Al sang a song about the uses of the pancreas. If you ever find yourself in life on the other side of Weird Al, you have made a mistake. Terrible, terrible mistake.
Humans.
Yep.
What's the matter with them?
Who needs them?
Yeah. So show of hands, who's using the Photoshop Lightroom workflow? Mark Harris, Steve. And who's using a
Lightroom.
Capture One Affinity workflow? Everybody else.
I'm experimenting with Capture.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
So
You're
I'm
Capture
starting
curious.
I'm starting to get the hang of Capture One, and it's really pretty easy and pretty impressive.
What do you like most about it?
I think the thing I like the functionality of Affinity better, but as far as the finished product, like I can't even create in Affinity the richness of tone that I can create in Capture One. It's just like it's kind of crazy how it works with color, I think.
Like compared, but were you using Lightroom before Capture One?
I was using Lightroom before Affinity, and then I switched to Affinity. No, I'm sorry. I've never been a Lightroom user for very long. I was using Photoshop, and then I switched to Affinity. And then I just recently purchased Capture One after you did that most recent interview with the guy that was giving the little overview. I was like, all right, I got a 25% off coupon, and so I went for it.
Cool. Good. That's interesting. Yeah, both of those guys, the Capture One, David Grover and Ashley Hewson, I think his name is, from Serif Affinity, both of them say that the other one software is what they hear about the most. Like people are moving to that Capture One Capture One Affinity Photo workflow away from the Creative Cloud and turning Creative Cloud off, like Troy Miller did this week.
So I've got a question for Troy. So am I right, or am I just not good enough on Affinity? But when I say that Capture One, it's the way it uses color and stuff like that, it's just better. It's just better, and it's hard to duplicate that on Affinity.
Yeah, I think that Capture One's raw processing engine is really powerful and very accurate. Far better than what Affinity is doing. You know, Affinity they have that raw editor in there so that you can get files in and out of it. But, you know, Capture One is definitely there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the back end of Capture One that you don't see for processing files and pulling out color and doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I agree. The way that I explain it is I see that you know, Lightroom and some of the others, like they work really well. It's kind of like music. They sound really good, but Capture One has a lot more fidelity in your images. So when you work with your images, you tend to see a little bit more highlight detail, a little bit better color accuracy, things like that. It's subtle sometimes, but
I don't know. I think of like the Lightroom Photoshop or the Capture One Affinity workflow. I think of them like as the Capture One is like your general practitioner for your image edits over a bunch of images, or focusing on one and getting the color perfect and making sure the color of Troy's shirt is perfect and all that stuff. But then Affinity I see more as photo manipulation. So if you need to go beyond fixing the photo and interpreting the raw file, and you need to take a tree out of someone's head or whatever, then you go into Affinity to do that heavy lifting and round trip back into Capture One. And you're like, Capture One, like it's like I look at Affinity as sort of the specialist, you know, where Capture One is the general practitioner. You know, like, oh, you have hemorrhoids, you need to go see Dr. So-and-so, and he'll take care of those for you.
It is my opinion that like the layer masking and stuff like that in Affinity is just easier to use than Capture One.
Yeah.
The paradigm there's closer to Photoshop, and maybe that's why to me it just seems to work better. But you
don't have the power over the color that you have in Capture One and Affinity. That's right. The magic. I think a lot of people. That's what when Troy explained that to me. That's what got me interested in looking deeper at Capture One, was just their metaphor of layers and colors and bringing that all together to make the perfect image. It's just brilliant. And it will be stolen unless it's patented.
I think the thing, I mean, I still haven't had time to actually go through the webinar from earlier, but like the thing that Capture One I still haven't been able to quite leave Lightroom behind is the digital asset management.
Yeah.
Being able to browse things in Lightroom and just being able to hit G and have that entire folder show up as a grid.
Yeah.
I still don't know the Capture One interface well enough to see the grid as anything but like a strip on the side of the screen.
Can you do that, Troy? Because that's huge. I use that all the time, the G key for grid. I use like G and D, developing grid, right?
Yeah, and when I first started using Capture One, I went through and I found all those little commands I used to do in Lightroom, and I changed them in Capture One. So I don't know what the shortcut is in Capture One to actually show you the grid because it's a view mode, but I do the same thing. When Steve, when you talk about like a dam, do you create smart collections and catalogs, and do you search across your entire collection?
I do from time to time, just because I've got so much back catalog that I'm using Lightroom to try and like find the stuff that I probably should have tossed years ago.
Right. The reason that I bring that up is that I've been really heavily using sessions, and like for Peter has everything in Lightroom, hundreds of thousands of files, but he doesn't actually use it as a dam. Like he's not going back and searching his whole library for keywords and things. So with that, you don't need to import images. Just use sessions and browse into the folder, edit, and do everything the same. So you don't even have to import stuff. And you get the grid view, and you get the thumbnail view, and you get a list view that you do not get in Lightroom, which holy crap, I love the list view.
I think I just really need to carve out some time to actually learn like the basics of, browsing. But yeah, I do use like collections and whatnot in Lightroom a lot.
Learn.capture1.com is where it is.
Duly noted.
Yep, that's a mountain of info there for you to wade into the waters and get familiar. I need to go there and dive in.
Well, I guess I do have Affinity Photo and Designer. I forgot about that.
Oh, you own them already?
Probably from a long time ago. I bought them on the App Store.
You know what the biggest thing from that interview with Ashley that I took away was that I didn't know about Affinity Photo and all of their applications. So all of their applications share a single common file format. So Designer, Photo, the iOS versions, both of the iPad, iPhone, everything is the same file. So you can you work on a file on your desktop and put it on Dropbox and open it on your phone. It's the same freaking file.
If I used iOS, that would be more useful. But just as a programmer, 9 to 5, I appreciate that.
Right. That's the holy grail. I mean, like from the old days of, this is an EPS file, or this is an Illustrator file, no, that's a Photoshop file, it's raster, and this is vector, and all that.
Every program having a different number of Fs and TIFF.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it's all in there. I thought that was brilliant. I told him I don't think they market that enough, because that was my just one file format to rule them all. That's amazing. So.
Yeah, I got Photo and Designer. Cool.
And they recognize each other too. So if you go from their design software to the Affinity, the layers are still there. So you can open those files from their Designer, take it into Photoshop, or not Photoshop, but take it into their Affinity Photo, apply those filters in there, bring it back, and all the layers are still respected in the way that they work. Where in Adobe, it doesn't do that. In Adobe, you have to export the file or import a layer, or they don't.
Yeah, well, their kludge is the smart object, so you can embed this over there, and changes that happen over there happen in here, and
yeah. Everything in Affinity, every layer is a smart layer. Every layer, you don't have to designate it as anything smart. Every layer is non-destructive.
I would love to see someone like a compositing artist, like a Renee Robin or somebody of that caliber, that is the Photoshop sort of, they break Photoshop's back. They have so many layers and channels and all that stuff in there. I want to see them dive into Affinity and build one of their 50 layer compositions with layer masking and alpha channels and all this stuff in there. I'd love to see that.
So, Frederick, do you have a discount for Affinity now? Do you have a discount coupon?
Yeah, I think he put there should be one in the blog post. Let me go look it up real quick while you guys.
Because after this little meeting, I'm going to go out to see my curator who's lounging around on his fat ass doing nothing, and find out why I don't have it on my computer.
Yeah, I know.
Because you don't listen to me. That's why.
Yeah, you're a lazy bastard. I don't know why I pay you all this money. Christ.
And if they got Windows versions, hell, I need to put Designer when the Surface Pro 7 comes out.
No, he did not give me a discount. Let me email him before you buy it, Peter.
Okay, cool.
Let me email him and find out if because I remember him mentioning he wanted to do that.
How much is it? About a couple $100, $300?
I think it's 50.
Yeah, it's
50.
nothing. Yeah.
Are you talking about Capture One, Peter?
No. I
Affinity.
did that. I got that discount for Capture One, the 25% off. That was
Yeah,
great.
guys, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, Affinity Designer, Photo. Those are both 50 a piece.
Oh, that's cheap. Okay, don't worry about the
Yeah.
the $50. That's nothing.
No, the fact that because like I was thinking for my next laptop, I'm gonna wait till a Surface Pro 7 gets released, and if it's got the specs I want, maybe go with that. And so it's like Affinity Designer on the Surface Pro. That sounds very appealing as someone who's like slowly getting his way back into traditional art.
Okay, cool. So Frederick gone to have a pee? Is that where he's gone?
You scared him off. You scared
Jesus.
him off.
That's why you wear diapers when you're having a meeting like this, so you can have a piss while you're having an interview. Come on.
No, he went into the wilds to hunt down a coupon code.
Oh, for $50, I got you $2 off. $2 off. Oh, yeah, great. Forget about it.
Now, Joshua, you're using Affinity to do editing on your iPad and on the computer, right? Like you bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
Pretty.
I don't bounce back and forth. I'm pretty much doing one or the other, but I have both. Yeah.
So is it pretty seamless if you edit it on your laptop or on your computer and you throw it like in Dropbox with their Affinity file? Does it open up nice and on the iPad?
Oh, definitely. In fact, the iPad version actually has an open, and you know how you've got the place option in Affinity where you can place an image directly onto a layer. They have an option in the iPad version to do that straight from the cloud.
Oh, cool. I haven't spent enough time on the iPad with that.
Wait, what did I miss? What was that, Joshua?
Anyway, you had to be here. It was great. It was the best story ever.
You know I'm recording this, right, Peter? There's this thing called technology. I don't know if you heard of it.
Is Frederick the surveillance state now?
It is.
What do you mean now?
I got to jam, guys. I got to get back to the kids.
All right, Chris. Thanks for
Chris,
coming
take
in.
care.
Later, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, see you later.
Hey, I'd like to say straight up, I'm really sorry about the comment that I made about you, Frederick, and I didn't really mean it. I didn't mean it. It was just an off-the-cuff saying. I'm sorry.
He totally meant it.
Wait, watch this. This is the power I have. Watch this. See that? I just muted Peter.
Oh, God.
Podcast, we call that being put in the boo box.
Exactly. There you go, Peter. Sorry about that. You're out of the penalty box now, man.
You're unmuted by the host. Wow, that's very cool.
That's power. That's power right there. Yeah. What else did I have on my list to talk about? Let me make sure I didn't miss anything.
So the Panasonic news today was in Lens, huh?
Oh, right. No, there wasn't. I didn't even watch that video yet because I've been on the road. It's a new camera body, right?
Lens.
It was a lens?
That's what I saw something about that.
I could have swore it was a new camera body. I got to watch that video. Why would they do a big announcement over a lens? It's like,
well, because it's made out of cardboard.
Yeah, I can see back in time. Yeah, I saw the chatter about it being expensive, whatever it is. So I don't know. I'll watch it after this. I think it's I thought it was a new camera body, or
I'm seeing S1H camera can shoot 6K video.
That's it, S1H, yeah. But it's like it's ridiculously expensive or something, right?
Probably. I'm just checking the headlines, and I do see something about what was it, a 10 to 25 f1.7 lens.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Troy's over there sneering because he's a Nikon guy. Look at him. Sorry,
Micro Four Thirds.
Nikon. Sorry, Troy. Nikon.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going back to film cameras since I watched a YouTube video where they're processing film with beer.
Oh my God.
We've done it with instant coffee.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Earth is concave, right?
Right. I never want to touch film again. Never.
No,
me neither.
No, I spent when I first went into the Air Force and was shipped over to Yokota Air Base in Tokyo. The new photographers get stuck back then when we had film, get stuck in the dark room from sun up to sundown, processing and printing. It's all you do all day long. You never see the sun for like a month and a half, 2 months. So I don't need to see film anymore.
What do you think? I was watching a video about this guy was basically talking about how he has film pictures or pictures taken with film. He has boxes of them that he took decades ago, but he doesn't have any digital files that he took a decade ago because of, changes in interfaces, like whatever was before USB. Now he can't operate that, dead hard drives, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, he was pointing out that for longevity of your work is why he prefers film.
Yeah, and printing, of course, but it's almost 2020, so archiving and backing up your digital life is kind of, it's kind of like life insurance these days.
To justify a hobby. If you want to shoot film, go shoot film.
Exactly. You don't need a reason.
It doesn't archive any better. Hell, it's made out of cellulite. That shit could rot. And I don't know if you ever pulled old film out of the box. You pull it, oh, look at that, snap.
Yeah.
So
or it sticks together.
Yeah.
Or it sticks.
I have the best of both worlds. You can shoot film, but scan it in. There you go. Done.
Yeah.
Hey, Troy, I think it's cellulose, not cellulite. Cellulite.
Did you say cellulite?
Yeah, cellulite is that stuff on my ass. It's lumpy and not good. That's the wrong stuff.
Peter pays to have sucked out every couple of weeks.
Hey, who told you about that? You got a camera behind me or something?
You make soap out of it, Peter? Is that?
Sometimes. I'll send you some.
And then you sell the soap and you can make a movie, and when you make $4,000 you can buy the Panasonic S1H.
There you go. Yeah, and the Peak Design travel tripod. You get a couple more of those.
Yeah, I don't even know if that tripod will support that camera. That camera's like the heaviest camera.
So S1,
right?
Oh, the old ones that we saw at WPPI?
That shit's heavy.
Yeah, those are pretty big.
So wait a minute. Troy, is that a $4,000 Micro Four Thirds Nancy Boy camera? Is that what you're talking about?
It's full frame, Peter. It's full frame.
Oh, it's full frame Micro Four Thirds.
Yeah, exactly. It's full frame Micro Four Thirds, and it shoots raw JPEG, right?
I need a drink after that.
Compressed.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
God.
much good fun to be had. Although I need to shoot with that S1 because I need, all joking aside, Peter, I need to move to full frame, I think. So
yeah, because when you go on a trip with me and to the headhunters and the naked people, I can't have you there with a little girly camera.
No, I don't. Seriously, yeah, I'm gonna
look bad.
Yeah, I know. I gotta have a full frame, So I don't know if it's gonna be that S1 or some other model. What would it be?
Oh. Stay tuned next week.
I am starting to shop for something to replace my 5D Mark III. I'm not in a rush, but I am definitely starting to shop around. So
I was going to say the Nikon Z series.
A7R3. Fabulous.
Well, Sony just became the number 2. They just surpassed Nikon in sales.
Yeah.
Really? Just now?
I saw it on either Petapixel or F-Stoppers, but they just took the number 2 place.
Yeah,
So
but
now
what are the numbers? I'm always wary of those numbers because that could mean they're both selling hundreds of units a year, and now instead of millions. So,
but I think that's US, not worldwide. I think it's US. Yeah, because I think worldwide, they're doing a lot better. Buy a Sony. You'll never regret it.
Except for the operating system.
Yeah,
You'll regret when you try to use it.
Yeah,
you only regret it when you try to use it.
Yeah, that's true. The operating system on the Sony is pretty shit. The menu interface is kind of crap.
How would you know? You don't even own one.
Because I have to fix all yours.
Don't tell everybody. Come on.
I will say it'll be sad to give up my Canon 70 to 200. What do they call it? The magic drain pipe. Big ass lens.
You won't be sad to give up any of that stuff. Trust me.
Yeah, you'll be happy. You'll be wondering why you didn't do it sooner.
No, hey. So the thing is, the 7200 Sony is exactly the same size. The 2.8. It's exactly the same size and weight as the Canon.
Yep.
Sold.
Yeah, same. Do it now.
It's got to be better because it's bigger, right?
Oh,
that's my story. No one believes it. I keep saying it.
Yeah,
but in all honesty, Thomas, you gotta go shoot with an A7R Mark III. I mean, I'm a Nikon guy to the core. Like, I love my Nikon stuff, and I will never give it up. But if I wanted to go mirrorless, or I was getting rid of a system, I tell everybody to go Sony, because you have so much support in the industry. You have so many lenses out there. You've got so much support and people that understand how the systems work. There's accessories. Nothing supports anything better than what Sony's done.
But what about Fuji and all the
we've got a community filled with righteous indignation at being snubbed at the latest review.
Yes, thank you. Fuji people are like fresh out of the X-Files. They just
but you don't have the same level of, you don't have the same community. You don't have Sigma that has a complete line of prime lenses that's only for Fuji. You have that for Sony, and that's the thing, is somebody who wants to grow into a system or take a system beyond. Sony's good. I mean, there's tons of shit. There's like 20 different flash units you could buy and brackets and.
Oh, I got nothing against Sony. I switched to Fuji before Sony really. They were already working on the A7. They might have had like the A7 Mark II, but I switched to Fuji just kind of accidentally. I got a used XT1 while I was shooting D750, and at the end of an entire day of 16 to 18 hours of shooting a festival in one day, like my hand was just dead holding D750 grip 24 to 105 f4 and a flash unit. I got a Fuji just to kind of experiment and have fun with it. Went to an event where all I had was their 35 f1.4 and the Samyang 12 millimeter f2. Haven't looked back.
Yeah.
I'm I was gonna say, I'm a little bit in the same boat where I've got a D5 and my 70 to 200 2.8 glass that I'm getting rid of because it's big, it's heavy, it's not any better than the mirrorless stuff that I'm shooting with.
It's sexy.
So, yeah, but
Yeah. Mark Harris, what are you shooting with?
A D850.
Oh, you're a Nikon guy too.
Yeah, and Zeiss lenses.
Hey, do you guys have any kind of update on F64 Live? I think I really want to go to that.
Troy,
I'm not sure.
August 17th. It's going to be August 17th all day long. It's going to be $149. We're going to have a 10% promo code that I'm going to push out to TWiP and all of my friends. Currently we have 5 speakers that have already signed up. So you can go to f64live.com and go look at the speakers that I already have signed.
Okay, it's updated. Okay.
Yeah, we just opened it up the other day. You can go ahead and put your name in to get notifications on what's going to be coming. I've been talking to Miller's and a couple other vendors that might be bringing in other speakers as well. So Frederick is going to be there. We haven't quite figured out what Frederick's role is. He's going to be doing interviews and midday shows, like stuff like that. So yeah,
he's Frederick. He doesn't need a role.
That's what I keep telling people. This whole role thing. Come on.
So, is there anything going on like the next day? Going out and doing some sort of wild photo shoot, we
hadn't planned it, but we certainly could. I mean, if enough people are going to come in that want to get together, we've got Joshua Tree and Salton Sea nearby, unless somebody wants to go to the beach, which, I don't care about the beach, but if you live someplace where you don't get the beach, you might want to go to the beach. That would be fun. We haven't planned anything yet though, but I've been asked now a couple times if somebody's going to travel in, should we go do something? We could certainly put a whole bunch of people in a truck and go out to Salton Sea and drive around.
Well, I mean, it's kind of if people are flying in from other states, one day is kind of short. It'd be cool to have some other activity going on.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't, the thing is that I've been so busy organizing the event, I hadn't thought about, organizing a post event.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. I got to put that on my to-do list.
Well, at the very least, drinks that night. So that's gonna happen.
Well, we're gonna do that at my house after the fact. So we're definitely gonna go back to my house and have wine and some snacks and food and decompress. So yeah, we're definitely gonna do that.
So Troy, is this Saturday or Sunday? Saturday?
That's on Saturday.
Okay, so you could do a little tour the next day. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I forgot we were gonna do a pre-sale for like $125 for like the first 30 days.
Wow, who's that woman? Is it a woman speaker?
That's Christy. Yeah, you know who that is.
Oh yeah.
Craig and Jimmy Doyle. Wow, cool.
Yeah. That's Tim Engel on the top right there. Photo Joseph down there.
Nice.
Tim Engel looks like he could kick some ass.
He does. Yeah, he probably could. Yeah, Tim doesn't play around. He knows his way around a gym. So I know my way past one.
I know where they are. Yeah.
Hey, look at all those people in there. Fools.
So does that answer your question, Thomas?
Yeah. I didn't realize the website was updated, so I'm definitely going to go back and look at that. I'm pretty excited about it because when I went out to Moab, I mean, that was just a game changer for me, getting to actually meet some people. It made this whole network a lot more real.
Awesome.
Right.
So yeah, I'd definitely like to meet some more TWiP Pro people.
Cool.
Yeah. I'd love to. I just got to get to that other coast.
Yeah.
Steve, where are you? Where are you at right now?
Suburb of Washington, D.C.
Oh, out there. Yes.
I'm actually just like a mile from the border, but like the northern end of it, so not exactly in downtown.
Yeah, that's a bit of a haul. Yeah.
That's where like
our political nerve center.
But yeah, this time for the member hangout, I'm like totally on board with that because all the other ones, it's like I work a 9 to 5 and I'm not in either like California or New York. I feel so isolated from the photographer community.
Well, there you go. See, we're here for you. Look at that. Yeah, well, good. Anybody have any other topics you want to cover before we break?
Very good. This time worked out all right.
This time was good?
Yeah, this was okay.
I like it.
All right, let's do it a couple more times at this time.
Peter, what time would it be for Craig Sampley?
2:00 in the afternoon.
Oh,
that's got to be doable.
Like that a lot better too, instead of being up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
He's probably in the outback. He's leading some sort of rally tour in that expensive $200,000 car that he's driving around.
Yeah.
Jesus. He's a rich photographer. What can I tell you?
Yeah. Well, hey, when you
are we all?
Huh?
Aren't we all? Aren't we all supposed to be rich?
Yeah. Do you hear the crickets? Yeah. Hear the cricket sound.
Yeah.
Look at Thomas is like, yeah, right.
Yeah. Fortunately, I have another business. So.
Yeah. Fortunately, I have a wife that runs mine. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it at this time for a couple more weeks. We'll see if it hooks. I like it. I like it at this time too. I think this works. This works for me much better.
I like it. I don't have to go to work an hour early.
Yeah. Well, you live there. I mean, 16-hour shifts, dude. Is that even legal? Come on.
Yeah, it's up to the point where it's almost illegal. 16 hours and 1 minute would be illegal.
Oh man. For real? 16-hour shifts?
Yeah.
Hey, Joshua.
I've been here since 8 in the morning. I get off at midnight.
Oof. And then you're gonna go home and stream, aren't you?
No. I'm planning to stream from Charlestown Landing tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to go straight to bed. I'm gonna do another one of those where I'm walking around, photographing stuff, stream.
How's that rig working out for you? So good?
I've only used it the once, but I mean, I like it. I got to do something about my camera strap, though. I can't have that thing on there. It just gets in the way.
Yeah.
Hey, Joshua, I was wanting to tell you, I gave my son, Harrison, I gave him my Canon T3i and told him to go out and take some pictures. And he came back with a picture of a 4-foot-long bull snake. I thought of you immediately. I thought, holy crap, now there's one of those in my family.
Good grief. Yeah, you live like in Jurassic Park or something, Joshua, because every time you're like posting photos of giant rattlesnakes and alligators and all this stuff. Are you in the swamp?
No, well, last weekend I was up in western North Carolina, up in the mountains like Black Mountain, Asheville, where it's nothing but bears and rattlesnakes.
Oh my.
Yeah, bears were coming right up to the back porch of the cabin, eating out of the bird feeder. None of the shots I took came out. That's why I hadn't posted it.
Troy's like, not in a million years. Would you?
I don't remember what snake it was I saw driving back from like the Blue Ridge Mountains, but I was going through Skyline Drive in the Shenandoah Forest, and I see a hawk fly away with a large-looking snake, and I was like, why did I have to be driving at this moment?
Isn't that somebody's state flag doing that?
I am sure it's somebody's flag.
Oh man!
All right, cool.
All right, kiddos, go enjoy your.
All right, Frederick. I'll let you know about next week if I can make it or not.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, you can make it. You don't need.
I'll try.
Give up.
All right.
And everybody wish Steve Van Sickle a happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Woo. There
Soon
you
you'll be 50 like me.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
There's no excuse for growing up.
Yeah.
Right.
No, never.
Have a nice weekend, everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
you too.
You guys too. All right, take care. See you next week.
Bye.